Previously on All Things Unexplained.
I had to play this. So this is one renowned physics expert, also expert in the field of quantum mechanics. Happened to be a female, so I was pretty excited to talk to her. There's not many females in the field. This pretty much was all my conversations with all physicists this week. Everyone in quantum computers. Here she is. Listen to this.
Hello?
Hi, could I speak to Professor?
Can I ask who's calling, please?
Yes, my name's Tim Mounts. I'm the host of a podcast called All Things Unexplained. We have an episode coming up on quantum computers.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of a meeting. You'll have to call later. Thanks, bye.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Who answers the phone in the middle of a meeting?
That's what I was
Not
wondering.
me.
Like, do you really think I believe you're in
someone
one
that's
meeting?
an unknown number? I mean, that's weird.
But that
That was
The first one.
intense.
That was
intense.
I know it really was. It was like hostile, right? Like
Very.
if I was somebody that could be triggered, I would have been triggered.
All Things Unexplained. Hosted by Dr. Mounts
Let's face it, we were always ready to roll without him anyway.
CJ Derringer,
Ain't nobody perfect, right?
and Smitty Neebs,
I've never planned out hardly anything my whole life. I just freeball.
featuring Cajun Man.
I'm just old nobody, somebody looking for somebody.
What's your first story?
Oh goodness, you're queuing me up like that, huh? Man, mine seems just so basic after all of that. Holy cow. Gotta clear my brain. But if there's any women that are listening, which of course there's not based on all of the comments that you just made, there was an article that I recently stumbled upon, which this is on livescience.com, or maybe that's livescience.com. I'm not sure now that I say that out loud. Anyways, it's titled Skin Cells Made 30 Years Younger with New Rejuvenation Technique. I'm going to repeat that. Skin cells made 30 years younger with new rejuvenation technique. So never before have cells been de-aged by so many years and still retained their specific type and function. So there's been all this research done, and of course, anti-aging is a massive market. Whatever those quantum computers cost, they got nothing on anti-aging because people are spending billions of dollars every single year to try and look younger, seem younger, feel younger, what have you. And so now these researchers in the UK have actually developed a way to reverse the aging process in skin cells, which I think is going to be a game changer in the world. But I mean, there's like a big philosophical argument there too, right? Like, at what point do we just accept that we're aging and that's what it is? Do you guys think that we're going to be able to reverse the aging process? I know that that's a big hot topic button right now too, of trying to reverse the years.
I may pass on that. I'm kind of up for being 10 or 15 years younger, but I really don't want to go through puberty again. So I'll pass on being 30 years younger.
You won't go through puberty again. It's just that your
Oh.
skin cells might look younger. Yeah, it's just skin cells.
I'm just going to stay my way I am. It took a long time to get good looking. So,
There you go.
mess with perfection.
Well, and listen, I personally haven't done any
Watch
Botox
it,
or
Tiff.
anything like that yet, but I do know that there are so many people. I mean, this is like people in their 20s are getting Botox now. There are so many people that are going to try to look younger, and now here they've come up this way to make skin cells 30 years younger, like reverse the aging process, which is crazy. So this says the researchers applied this technique to fibroblasts, which I guess is a common type of skin cell, from 3 middle-aged donors who averaged about 50 years old, then compared them to younger cells from donors aged 20 to 22. The researchers found that the middle-aged cells were similar to the younger cells, both chemically and genetically.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Smitty,
to
have
me.
you had Botox? Is that too personal?
No, I have not had Botox. I'll tell you what, most of these people that are into all that plastic surgery end up looking like some kind of crazy science experiment eventually. So,
Oh, you'd be
from what I'm,
surprised, Smitty. I bet you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that have Botox done that you probably have no idea
I don't mean like Botox. I mean like they just, I don't know. Like you look at Courtney Cox and some of those people, they have really not aged well, even though they've had these things done. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'll just
But let's
say,
get getting past the cosmetic part of it, getting past the looks. It says that the genes are related to age-related diseases as well, like Alzheimer's disease and cataracts. So truly reversing the aging process altogether. I mean, would you guys do it if you had an opportunity? Not just your skin, not just the way that you look, but if you thought like, okay, I could reverse the hands of time and truly be younger, live longer, feel younger.
Yes.
I'd have
Sign
to
me
think
up.
you would at least try.
I mean, I'll admit
I have to think you
and
would
I've
try,
got
right?
longtime listener George Winters in on this as well. I'm hitting up the cryotherapy chamber, and that's all about, physical rehab, staying as young as I can, getting rid of pain, swelling, lactic acid in my muscles, all that sort of stuff is supposed to make you look younger, feel younger, in addition to a whole lot of other things. So, I think if I'll do cryotherapy, there's no telling what I'll do.
do you feel better?
I feel great.
I thought you meant you wanted to put you in a freezer when you died. I can move us some peas and deer meat in the other freezer and just stick you in there with a gallon of ice cream or something.
That is a Mississippi cryo chamber.
Cryotherapy right
So,
there. Stick them in
Listener
there.
Trent Leonard said
Yeah.
Botox in Mississippi is basically poison ivy. How'd you know? Jason Stifler.
I'm not allergic.
Speaking of
I'm not
poison
allergic to
ivy
it.
in Mississippi, I hope everybody's anxiously awaiting my next audiobook release. It's going to be called Killer Kudzu. Killer Kudzu, about genetically modified kudzu that goes on a murderous rampage across rural Georgia. That's going to be out soon. I am the narrator and producer. All right, Jason Stifler said he would definitely do it, CJ, if it would help with the bags under his eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we all have a thing, right, that we would change if we could, but also the idea of just our cells being younger and feeling younger at older ages, that's pretty enticing.
Oh, for sure.
He also said, Trent said CBD oil, which I can't take because I'm randomly drug tested. And they said we might be hot on the drug test if we take that.
Well, I feel like surely Trent is randomly drug tested. I don't think CBD oil test positive for marijuana because CBD. I don't know about that.
Yeah, they told us we couldn't take it.
It can.
It's bus. If we drove a bus, we couldn't take it. So.
Yeah,
Which I don't.
it acts on it acts on the same receptors and acts the same way, and it can come up positive.
So you could take NyQuil, but you can't take CBD oil.
Oh, I can drink a whole gallon of NyQuil.
We don't make the rules.
George Winters said
he does that right before putting your body
cryo
in
has
the
been
freezer.
great for recovery. No one has told me I look too young yet. I'm sure it's coming. Several more sessions. Got to keep that subscription going, George. So that was pretty great, CJ. I think let's take a host trip, all things unexplained trip, to get some rejuvenation.
To go get younger. Let's go get our youth on.
On the
Drink
next
from the
episode.
fountain of youth. Hey, you know what? If you're gonna fund it, sign me up. I'm in.
I'm already the youngest looking of the three, so whatever.
There you go. You don't need it. Keep eating
Whatever.
that ice cream and those frozen peas. You good? You good?
Smitty, did you have a news article for us?
Yeah, this is kind of strange, I thought. But in February of this past year, I just saw this. For Valentine's Day, this is so romantic. The Bronx Zoo would let you name a roach after your sweetheart
Oh
for
my
$15.
goodness.
You can name a Madagascar hissing cockroach after your special someone. Who would want a roach named after them? Except
Mm.
maybe the guy on what is it? Men in Black. He might, because wasn't he taking over that race of aliens? Why would you do that? I'm pretty sure that would shut the relationship down. Hey, guess what? I named a
I
roach
mean,
after you.
I guess it could be worse.
Oh,
It could be a dung beetle.
that's.
Oh, I was just talking about dung beetles today.
Oh yeah.
I guess they're entomologists. Maybe they would dig that, but I don't see how that would go with somebody that wasn't
Was that a dung beetle
entomologist.
joke? They can dig
So,
that.
yeah, that's right. They can roll it up in a ball.
Somehow Trent Leonard knows that Taylor Swift got a new millipede named after her.
Oh,
The Swiftipede?
oh, like a new species of millipede. Oh, that's cool.
I'm just guessing. I don't know. But why were you talking about dung beetles today, CJ?
Oh, house full of kids, dung beetles,
It reminds
funny
me.
stuff.
Yep, it reminds me. My
No
son
reason.
turned 8 this week, and the other day we caught Eye of the 8 video. The title just drew us in. Why is the world not covered in poop? Dung beetles is
Dung
the
beetles.
answer.
Because Tim's full of most of it.
Hey, I gained a new respect for the dung beetle, okay? Let me tell you. He's got a stinky job, but he keeps on doing it. And we're all the better for it.
Well, that's true. I was thinking about that the other day. There were a bunch of buzzards back here eating some turtles that were dead. And I thought, well, I guess the Lord knew what he was doing when he made buzzards to
Yeah, that's
clean
true.
up the place.
Also in April 2022, The Batman is now streaming. So if you have not seen The Batman, here it is. It is now streaming. So I thought this would be interesting. I know CJ's seen some of The Batman. And Smitty and I actually went to see this with Anonymous Brother when I visited Mississippi recently. We loved it, right, Smitty? Let's
Yes.
not rank it though. I know
Yeah, it was
CJ's seen
awesome.
some of these. Let's do a little thing here. Let's review The Batman. And by the way, if you haven't seen The Batman, well, Smitty, we should try to stay mildly spoiler free here. But here we go.
Okay.
Smitty, CJ, where would y'all rank the first Batman? Where can we put that? Michael Keaton had the Joker, was...
I was too young to rank that one.
I'll be honest. I think that, to me, is the best Batman. I love that Batman. I thought Michael Keaton.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh.
Jack Nicholson was the Joker. Yeah, I thought the Batman was... Or Batman, the original Michael Keaton was pretty great. And, of course, it was the best one at the time. So we're just going to put this over here on the right.
The best one
Yeah.
at the time.
It's the only one. So we're going to put it over here on the right.
Oh.
And next up, we had Batman Returns.
So we'll be like, oh yeah, well, Tim was the best host at the time before we replaced him. The Batman Returns. Who's in that one?
That was Michael Keaton was back again, but this one had Michelle Pfeiffer
Oh, Michelle
and
Pfeiffer.
Danny DeVito, who seemed perfect to
DeVito?
be the Penguin.
Penguin, right?
Penguin.
Yeah. Okay, I do remember that one a little bit more.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? That was the first one.
Oh, that's what listener George Winter said. Ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Oh, you guys actually can quote this movie. This is good. Okay. All right.
Great minds think alike, George.
Yeah, so after Batman 2, we had Batman Forever.
Oh, that one was silly.
That was
Riddle
Val
me, dude.
Kilmer. Jim Carrey was the
Riddle me.
Riddler. And you know what? I'm just going to move this way
Tommy
over there.
Lee Jones was the Two-Face.
Two-Face, right. I thought this was horrible. Nicole Kidman was in there. Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah. She was
Yeah, that
Poison
one was
Ivy.
rough.
No, she was the woman that
Yeah, that was
loved
pretty terrible. That was
yeah.
quickly
She was a
followed
love
up, I believe, by... Let's see.
Oh, that's
Batman and
definitely the
Robin.
worst
Arnold
one.
Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze. Oh, it's so bad.
Oh,
Let's move that way,
Yeah.
way
super
over there.
silly.
No,
Yeah,
throw that one
Alicia
in the trash.
Silverstone.
I agree.
You know, one thing I could never figure
Oh,
out with Robin and like Alicia Silverstone there, she was Batgirl, right? Those little eye masks, kind of like the Lone Ranger wore. Well, not
How
only
they
that, but
stayed
did they
on.
really conceal their identity? I mean, come on, don't you still know that's Alicia Silverstone?
like we all knew it was still Silverstone.
Well, obviously, I mean, he must, because Superman can take off glasses, and everybody's like, "Who is this guy?" You know, I mean, Lord, he takes off some glasses, and they're like, "Clark Kent,
No,
where
that's
did he
true.
go?" I don't understand that.
So I think that we can agree Batman the original so far the best. Batman Returns better. These other two, they're just garbage, just pure junk, right? And here we get into CJ's wheelhouse. Next, the Batman trilogy. And we're just gonna call this one movie here.
Those are my
Batman
favorite.
Begins, The Dark Knight,
Oh, I don't think that that's
Dark
right.
Knight
I don't think that all of
Rises.
them together is one.
You have to. So, CJ, where do you put that?
No.
Well, they're kind of very
Well, I think that
similar,
that's number
right?
one. I think that they are, but I would say that The Dark Knight is by far the best of them all. I think The Dark Knight Rises was okay. I don't think that it was as great, but I think that The Dark Knight is like one of the best movies ever. Not to mention better than the other Batmans, but the quotes from that movie, the whole trilogy was great. Christopher Nolan is brilliant, but I think that The Dark Knight stands alone
Well, Jason Stifler said
personally.
he gives Batman 3 out of 3. Trent Leonard said Heath Ledger even beats Jack. Not sure I agree with that. Jason said I agree with CJ on the Dark Knight series.
Thanks, Jason.
Stifler's favorite movie's got to be
So,
American Pie.
well, based on everybody's feedback here, I'm gonna slide Batman Returns into third. These other two pieces of trash, far distant. Batman, Robin, Batman Forever. I'm gonna call it roughly a tie right now between the Batman trilogy and Batman. And then we had recently the Batman. And just for me personally,
Yeah, I didn't see that one, so I can't rank it.
I mean, for me personally, it goes straight to first.
Really? You didn't say when I asked you about it, you were like, "Yeah, it was pretty
Well, it was
good."
pretty good.
That doesn't go
It's
straight to first. That does not beat the three
it's
Christopher
better than
Nolan
1,
ones.
2, 3, 4, 5 movies. It's better than 5 other movies. That's pretty good. It's better.
I don't know. I mean, it was good. I thought it was a little long. It was way more violent than the others. I'm not trying to give a
Right.
spoiler alert, but it was
I mean, it draws
a bit more
influences
violence.
from Seven, from the Saw series. It's completely unpredictable. There's essentially a serial killer in it. One thing that I always
Sounds terrible.
it is so not terrible. So one thing I liked about it, and I've got a lot of Batman comics, and I grew up reading Batman.
So wait, no, you've talked too much, Tim. I want to hear
Okay.
Smitty. Now, Smitty's the tiebreaker. Which is better, the Christopher Nolan 3 series or the Batman or whatever it was?
It was pretty good. I think it was. I don't know. I really like the one with Heath Ledger, and I do love the one with Tom Hardy too. So he was great as
Yeah,
Bane.
he
Well,
was good.
hello, Batman. That's what he always
Smitty
says.
does do a good Bane.
But you know, it's hard. It's hard because Heath Ledger was so great in that movie. But of course, Jack
Ugh.
Nicholson was super good. It's kind of just depends on what you like about Batman, really, because the Batman had kind of that silly thing about it, but it was also had some violence. He threw acid on the girl's face, you know, and then you go to straight up, really, really serious Batman with the Christian Bale ones,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to really psychotic Batman with others.
Yeah, like they
So
took it too far. Like,
it's
why
like,
take what was perfect and then overdo it? I wouldn't do that. It
Well,
was a
George
mistake.
agrees with CJ, disagrees with Trent. I think Jack was a better Joker too, George. Now here's what I appreciate about the Batman. So I grew up reading the Batman comics, and there's a particular series of Batman, and he's known as the world's greatest detective, right? And that has never been portrayed on screen until now. And in this movie, he's literally doing detective work, and that puts it on another level for me.
that's true.
I loved this version,
That's true.
the world's greatest detective.
Now you loved this version?
Loved it.
Really? I mean, honestly, when I asked you, you were like, it was pretty good. It was really dark. I'm not sure that you would like it. Now you loved it. You've had time to sit with it and you loved it.
It's
really.
Its love has grown in me. What can I say? Great point by George Winters.
I'll
What
tell
about
you what.
Adam West? Kapow. That's CJ's favorite, real favorite.
Yeah, that's true. Adam West and the shark repellent. He had shark repellent.
Kaboom.
We missed out on Lego Batman. What about
You
Lego
know, you're
Batman?
right. That could have been on the list.
Oh, God.
That's true. And there have been a lot of great animated Batman movies. I don't know about a lot, but there have been some real good
That
ones.
was Will Arnett was Batman and Lego Batman.
Oh,
So,
that's right. Well, this got heated. This got far more heated than quantum computers.
Well,
I want to go see the Northman. That's what I'm waiting to come out. I think it comes out tomorrow.
Well, at least we can all agree that Batman and Robin and Batman Forever are not worthy of watching or discussing.
Yeah, the only good part about it was Alicia Silverstone. So that was about
She
it.
was okay.
She was pretty popular back
Yeah.
then.
Aerosmith videos, all that crap. CJ, did you have another story for us tonight?
I have one that we can touch on briefly. I don't actually know too much about it, but the title caught my eye, and this came out 16 days ago. And I'm not sure why we haven't all discussed it or sent it to one another before, but the title is UFOs Left Radiation Burns and Unaccounted for Pregnancies, a new Pentagon report claims. Have you guys seen this?
I did see that.
So 1,500 pages of UFO-related research were just declassified as part of an FOIA request. And it dives into all sorts of things, all sorts of accounts. But yeah, that stuck out in my mind. The radiation burns and the unaccounted for pregnancies.
Just wild.
Which,
Verified
yeah.
physical, biological repercussions of UFO, UAP encounters. Just wild. I go back to my Bigfoot analogy. Can you imagine if there was a Pentagon report confirming, for example, Bigfoot attacks and deaths and injuries from Bigfoot attacks, for example? Can you imagine?
No, I don't really know what the question was. I was trying to get my kid to brush her teeth, but go ahead. Yeah. Something about UFO alien attacks on Bigfoot.
Well, CJ just told us about a new Pentagon report detailing
yeah.
biological issues caused by UFO
Yeah.
encounters. Miscarriages, right, CJ? And radiation issues.
It might say miscarriages, but this says unaccounted for pregnancies. Pregnancies, not miscarriages.
Oh.
But it goes on to talk about studies of biological tissues. The study was dated from 2010. The report describes alleged injuries to human observers by advanced aerospace systems, some of which may be a threat to United States interests. There's 42 cases from medical files and 300 unpublished cases where humans sustained injuries after alleged encounters with vehicles, which include UFOs, burn injuries, electromagnetic radiation. It goes on and on. I'd have to dive deeper into the pregnancies part, but
Yeah.
To me, it's just mind-blowing. And here we have, yet again, the government confirming UFO and UAP details You know, these things have been reported for a long time. Injuries, other physical issues
Right.
from UFO encounters, but they've always been met with ridicule and disinformation.
Yeah, with pushback.
Yes. I think we had to re-examine all those cases.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then also question why all of a sudden they are deciding that, okay, actually, these are UFOs. These are unknown.
Yep.
How does that serve them now is the real question. And how did it serve them before to not admit it?
Well, I'm coming on the same page as a lot of other people that believe something big is coming, some sort of big revelation. We're on the precipice of it. I don't know what it is, but it just feels like this information continues to build into something really big.
And maybe we'll have a chance to talk about it on May 24th. Did I get that date right?
That's it.
May 24th with our super special guest who is far, far, far more intelligent than, I'll speak for myself, far, far, far more intelligent than me. And maybe he can explain some of it.
Speaking of big news, if you're looking to make a little money, there's a world-renowned scientist, I believe, that has offered a $1 million prize if a museum can duplicate the Shroud of Turin. Those of you not familiar with the Shroud of Turin, it supposedly is an image of Jesus on a cloth used to wrap him in his tomb. There's a lot of skeptics out there, but you know what? Hey, if you're a skeptic, that means you think it's a fake. That means you think it can be reproduced. And that means, you know what? What is it they say? Money talks and something else walks. You know what? Get you some $1 million. Reproduce the Shroud of Turin. Come on, I dare you. Reproduce the Shroud of Turin. I dare you. Get $1 million. Because I promise you, it ain't going to be that easy.
But I would think there's somebody out there that could do it.
Hey, there's $1 million
Well, I'll
on
tell
the
you,
line.
for $1 million, man, you come down here, we'll soak us up some cloth and a wash tub or something and figure out what we can get for this thing.
Well,
yeah,
if
I'm
only we
taking $1 million
know
bucks.
a bearded feller, you know, that we could wrap up and put in a tomb.
I'm not so sure that Smitty looks like Jesus, if that's what you're getting at here.
I mean, he could be our
I'm not
Jesus.
so sure. Jesus was so pudgy. I don't think he was quite as big as I am.
He could,
So
he could be our $1 million Jesus.
It's
know,
worth a try.
Long-time listener George Winter's going to appreciate this next story. Moving on from the Shroud, but we may try to bury Smitty and see what happens. Bigfoot
Okay,
may have been
thanks.
spotted in Wilmer, Alabama. I was hoping George is still listening to kind of tell us where Wilmer is. Y'all got to check these photos out. Tell me what you think. There's the first one. Bigfoot's taking a little stroll by the
It's
lake.
really small. It's hard to see.
Yeah, that one's a little hard to see. That one's getting a little better.
Looked at this earlier, and I think personally it looks like somebody's just trying to put a suit on and trying to fake a Bigfoot sighting.
So somebody in Wilmer zoomed in pretty good on that one.
This is Wilmer. I'm going to look it up on my computer. Wilmer, Alabama.
Wilmer, Alabama. There's a good one.
Mhm.
What I want to know is, they had time to take these photographs. Dang, why can you not hit the video button? Why can you not record some video?
Yeah, that's a little suspicious. Are these taken with a cell phone, or do you know?
Yes, with a cell phone. George says Wilmer's on the coast, really close to the Mississippi border. That explains it.
Why are they so, foggy?
That's a good question. I just think it looks to me like a human being in a costume. Look how straight his back is. Remember the Gilman where the shoulders and was hunched, kind of?
Listener Jason Stifler says looks like a James Patterson remake. It does look a little gorilla-like, though. We'll give them that.
It does. I just don't like how fuzzy these pictures are. As if it was incredibly humid outside and it was Making the camera fuzzy.
Well, it is southern Alabama.
Well, trust me, if it's in Alabama or Mississippi, it's pretty dang humid.
It's so true.
But you guys can get better pictures than that on your phone. Interesting.
We may never know until we take a trip down to Wilmer. I bet George and Jason will go with us.
Wilmer, Alabama.
Probably
I
not.
don't even know where that is. It's on the coast. So.
Also, we're doing this broadcast on April 21st. And this day in 1933, this infamous photo was taken by a British surgeon. Let me see if I can pull it up. There it is. Known as the surgeon's photo, it is the most famous or infamous picture ever taken of the Loch Ness Monster. This day in 1933. So speaking.
Oh wow! Okay, that was taken.
It's actually better than the cell phone
1933.
pictures of Bigfoot in 2020.
That we just saw. See, that's what's frustrating about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Also this month, speaking of Nessie, first sighting of Nessie of 2022 came in April 2022. Nessie was spotted on sonar. So check this out. This is 400 feet below the surface. Something big on sonar there. This is from Scotland
And this
now.
is the same. Oh. And that was what day? That was this month. You're
April
saying.
7th. This was in the National News, Scotland.
You're like throwing me off. You're going back hundreds of years and then you're going back a couple of days. Like, I just don't know where we are in time.
It's like a modern blockbuster. Time hopping all over. But 400 feet below the surface, look at that. Smitty, you've used quite a few fishing sonars. What do you think?
I don't know. I'd have to be able to zoom it in better to get a better look at it, but
let's see if I can
it's
zoom
awful
in.
strange. It's huge. I mean, it's huge for a sonar, for a water. Yeah, you're right. We have some
I mean,
pretty-
if I'm being totally honest, I don't even know what we're looking at in that picture.
I see a plesiosaur.
It's big. I mean, 400 feet. That's, there would have to be a massive, whatever it is, just to be able to catch it. I mean, not catch it, but put it on there. Yeah, you're right. I have used a lot of fish finders before. And my father-in-law's got one that's just a camera, and it shows out where you can see the actual fish swimming around. So it's neat.
What it doesn't say is, did he try to get a hook down there at 400 feet?
I don't know, man. That'd be a lot of line.
He or
That'd be
she.
a whole lot of line.
Yeah. I saw the river monster guy do that one episode. He was ice fishing, believe it or not. And I don't remember what he was fishing for, but it was basically hundreds of feet of line that they had to haul down there. It was unreal.
Oh my gosh.
But then they had to haul it back out, so that wasn't fun. Well, this is the April 2022 Unexplained update. We've covered quantum computers, Bigfoots, Batman,
Oof, I'm gonna sleep well tonight.
the Shroud of Turin, Loch Ness Monster, rejuvenation, skin creams,
No, it's not a skin cream. Oh my goodness. Were you even listening?
Botox.
It's like the woman talks on this show and all the men stop listening.
What'd you say? No, I'm kidding.
That was a good one, Smitty.
Oh, brother. It's a very 1950s joke.
Thanks.
Other than what?
Is that because I was going to talk? You started playing music?
No, this music goes on for a while, so you can talk. It's,
I'm only teasing. My brain stopped working after the quantum computer chat.
well, see, I was going to ask you what.
I needed like a whole bullet point list before this show of the things you were going to talk about, so I could have at least educated myself on some of them. Good grief.
Well, I admit, you
Oof.
know, the quantum computing is beyond all of our comprehension. That's why I really wanted to
Was
get a
tough.
expert, you know, just some sound bites from them. Nope, too busy, too top secret. Don't want to hear from me. Trying to figure out how to get that number off the internet right now. That's what they're doing.
Well, now at least Smitty knows how to get you off the phone quickly.
Yeah, for real.
What's that? I'm in a meeting. Gotta call me later. Bye.
Somebody's beeping in, Smitty. I gotta go.
I think you use that a lot, Tim.
Oh no, I didn't think anybody noticed that. All right, everybody. Is that all you got for us tonight, CJ and Smitty? You got any other stories?
Not to my knowledge.
That's all I got.
You want to take
Thanks
us
for
out?
tuning in. Yeah. Who, me
Yeah,
or CJ?
Smitty.
Oh, be happy, be strange, and listen to All Things Unexplained. Come back and see us next time. Thanks.
At Bigfoot UFO on Venmo. Thanks for your support. See y'all. Good night.
Bye.
You've been listening to All Things Unexplained. If you liked this podcast, please do give us a 5-star rating and leave us a review. If you would like to hear more All Things Unexplained, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Our show depends on the support of listeners like you. To help keep us going, please be sure to visit patreon.com/allthingsunexplained. Our Patreon patrons get early access to podcasts, as well as exclusive audio and video clips. Or you can find us on Venmo under the business accounts. Just look for @BigfootUFO. Additionally, you can support us at buymeacoffee.com/unexplained. If you can't get enough of us, go ahead and check us out at allthings-unexplained.com. A special thanks to our producer, director, sound mixer, editor, and the man who wears far too many hats. No, seriously, he wears a lot of hats. Dr. Tim Mounts. Without you, we couldn't keep the lights on. Thanks for listening to All Things Unexplained.